we jump to the powdered trails of Vail, Colorado. Carved out of the eastern Rockies, this massive complex is regarded as the nation's premier winter playground. Among the Vail regulars is sportscaster Bud Palmer. Since he bought a home here, the former basketball pro can often be found fast breaking its snowy slopes. And so can Colorado Governor John Love.
Oh, we have the snow, and it's good snow. I mean, you can count on it, and also, most of this moisture comes from the Pacific coast or from the Pacific. And by the time it's crossed the Sierras and the Utah mountains, it's pretty dry, and, we've got great powder here most of the time.
And from their steam-heated office buildings across the country, they come to Vail to enjoy a crisp interlude. Not only to ski, but to mingle in the bracing mountain air. To relax, to laugh, to share a spirit open to all kinds, ages, sizes, and shapes. For more than 3 million Americans, skiing is what it's all about. But it's also about this, and this, and this. And with legions of neophytes being initiated each day, such scenes as these are all too common. And when they don't get up, expert help must be there to pick up the pieces and get the victim off the cold slopes and to a doctor fast. This critical task falls to the Vail Ski Patrol, a highly trained corps of 34 committed young professionals whose special skills necessarily range well beyond the art of skiing and into the science of survival itself. I'd always wanted to watch the Ski Patrol at work, so when I was invited to tag along, I eagerly accepted. That first morning began with a generous overall view of Vail's 45 miles of meandering ski trails from the gondola. Patrol Director Paul Testwuide has been at Vail since it was established in 1962. In your estimation, how long does it take to make a qualified ski patrolman?
It takes from 1 to 2 years for a man to learn everything there is on this mountain. And maybe I shouldn't say everything, to learn enough of this mountain to be useful at everything.
What are the qualifications?
Well, probably one of the primary qualifications is you have to be an excellent skier. You have to be able to ski any condition at any time, either day or night. They have to know first aid to the injured people on the hill. They have to know how to get them off the hill. We use toboggans. They have to be excellent at handling these toboggans. In any kind of snow, in the trees, where any place that you may imagine someone may get hurt, we have to get there as quickly as possible and take care of them as best as we can and get them down to the clinic where the doctors can take over.
You know what gets me is that's a huge area. You read every year over in Europe of avalanche dangers, of people being buried in avalanches, being killed in avalanches. Yet since Vail's been going since 1962, nobody has been buried in an avalanche. You haven't lost a person. Not one life has been lost. Now, do you have a very strict avalanche control, or why?
Well, Bud, we've been accused of going overboard at times with our avalanche control. Whenever we figure there's the slightest amount of danger, why, our avalanche crews, who are patrolmen like myself, go out and control this potential hazard to the skier public.
Well, you use powder charges, right?
We use dynamite. We use different types of high explosives. And we also, if the danger seems not to warrant using dynamite, why, we'll go in and actually ski these areas ourselves, and we'll break off sometimes small avalanches. We've got avalanche cord. You wear it around your waist when you go into an area that you think is dangerous. And should you get buried, hopefully a part of this 100-foot cord will be showing. And then your buddy, if he's a fast digger, can find the end of the cord in which you should be attached to it and maybe save your life.
In the past, when I was rudely awakened by such blasts, I didn't really understand their importance. To break up the huge but unstable shelves of accumulated snow that can crumble like a house of cards under the weight of just one unsuspecting skier. Later on the way down, the gondola suddenly stopped. And while Paul broke the news that I'd have to go the rest of the way by rope, I watched one of the patrol climb the closest tower, carrying a weird apparatus, a kind of bicycle, on which he would attempt to descend the high wire in the best Barnum Bailey style.
Any moment now, he's going to come screaming down at us.
How does he? Is there a brake on it he controls manually or what?
There's a small friction brake.
That's all?
Yep. You'll hear a fantastic scream as he comes down here. He might hit 20 miles an hour if he wants to.
You're kidding.
Here he comes.
Once the rendezvous was completed, we sat there suspended some 260 feet above Mother Earth, and I had no idea what was coming next, until we heard the voice of ski patrolman Don Yesness on the ground.
Can you folks up in the car hear me? Right. If you look under the seat, you'll find a can with the ball string, couple balls of string. Tie it around your leg, and then drop the ball out of the window.
Go.
There's no way we can...
Ready!
My
Can I
God.
ask for more instructions?
He'll give it to you.
Okay.
Pass the rope, the patrolman on the roof will lower his bicycle.
That's the wildest bike in captivity, I'll tell you
There he goes.
Although Paul said this particular maneuver had never been necessary at Vail under emergency conditions, he felt certain that it was just a matter of time until the day would come when they'd need it. And with this in mind, he maintains a special team of 4 men who practice the procedure periodically. This time, they made me their guinea pig. There we go.
Put your safety belt on. Now, I'd like you to sit down on the floor of the car with your feet out the car, please. Okay, he's ready! On belay! Now, Bud, ease yourself out, and turn around and face the car. That's it.
How's that?
That's fine. Now you're all
I'm
set.
clear. All righty?
Right there.
Yeah, you, Paul Testwuide, you and your big ideas.
Goodbye, Bud.
Actually, I felt only the slightest twinge of apprehension. And then even that disappeared as I sat suspended in that rig they call a diaper sling, enjoying the view and somehow feeling secure in the hands of these men. Each one performs his job so expertly and with such relaxed confidence that you quickly convince yourself that everything is just fine, even when it might seem that it isn't.
How you doing down there, Don?
Oh, you son of a gun! The next day, I joined 2 members on standby duty, B.J. Britton and his partner, Chuck Malloy. Hey, you guys, the sliding's pretty good today.
Hi, Bud. How are you?
Hello, Bud.
Chuck, how long have you been on the ski patrol?
I've been here. This is my 8th season now.
How about you, B.J.?
This is my 7th year.
Well, talking about skiing, is that why you joined the ski patrol, because of the skiing?
Right.
Skiing is the
In other
whole
words,
thing. That's
on the
key.
patrol, you get more skiing than any other job.
Yeah.
What kind of conditions you like the best?
I think powder. I'd have to go for powder.
How deep?
The deeper, the better.
Deeper. How about you, Chuck?
Same thing. Fills your goggles up, you take them off.
Can't breathe.
Knock a little snow out of them, put them back on, and
What is your thing in the powder?
you feel like you're not attached to the ground. You're free. You're like a bird. Sometimes you feel inside you, you're so excited, you just want to shout at the top of your voice. And other times, you just think, I don't want to say anything because it's so bloody nice and quiet.
I think it's probably the same feeling that a surfer gets on a super wave, that he comes down the same way. But there, maybe there's more noise. Here, it's the quiet and the stillness. And then when you get down and check, and you see where you've carved your path right through this virgin snow, it's the most exhilarating
Kind of
feeling.
like being an artist when you look back up and see the tracks. It's almost like your own self-expression.
Yeah. I mean, I'm speaking for myself.
Then came the call from the office, 10:50, which meant someone was in trouble. In this case, halfway down one of the intermediate slopes known as Espresso.
What's the nature of the injury, guys?
It's a leg?
Yep. Okay.
With the cry toboggan clearing the way, we shot down that slope, and it came home to me just how good these men are. BJ piloted that toboggan with an ease and grace that any skier must admire. Now I knew how high the standards had to be just to qualify for this job. Finally, about halfway down the slope, I saw another side of these men that was equally graceful and easy.
Hello there, hotshot. What's your name, son?
Gary Lauder.
Hi, Gary. This is Chuck. I'm BJ. Okay, partner. Which leg is it? This one here?
Yes.
You want to get his leg and I'll put the splint on him?
Okay, now what we want you to do, don't do it until we tell you. We want you to roll over on your hind end, okay? You ready? Roll on your back.
Hello, Gary.
That boy. That boy.
Doing fine.
You're a pretty gutty fellow there, I'll tell you.
How's that feel, Gary?
Better.
Does that feel pretty comfortable now?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, Gary.
Gary, if you want to take... BJ, do you have his leg?
I'll just get... Which way's his head going to be, BJ?
Down toward Bud. Put his head at this end here.
You're going to get a soft ride down, Gary.
Okay. Ready? BJ, 1, 2, 3. Up we go. And over. Okay, Gary.
Lay back in the sleeping bag, partner.
That up, boy. How do you feel now? Okay. You grab a hold of this little blanket here.
I just have him hold on
Just
to
hold it over your face. That up, boy. He's fine back here.
All systems read go.
In sharp contrast to their speed in getting there, they now showed an equal talent for a kind of tender, loving care. Fortunately, the nearest chairlift was just a few hundred yards away.
We'll need a rig. Walk up.
Okay, all set.
BJ efficiently strapped Gary aboard for the short ride down to the hospital.
See how we're rigged up here? We're on a chairlift now. That pretty slick?
As I watched BJ and little Gary, now only a few minutes away from a competent doctor, I was richly reassured that the Vail Ski Patrol is not only on the job, but that they love being there. And well they might. For the rewards don't come in a big paycheck or a prolonged career. They come in being needed, with the added bonus of feeling clear powder in your face. A private freedom you never want to lose. A chance to practice your own personal artistry in motion.